So far, in a quest to discover the Jainism, to learn about the principles of Jainism, we have learned about our five paramities. We have learned about the existence of soul, and we have learned about the six substances that constitute this universe, right? And then we went deeper, and then we tried to understand about the six common attributes that govern, that act as constitution to this cosmos, to this world, and then also the special attribute of these six substances, in which we defined Jiva, Jiva to be the knower. The Pudgal is a matter which can be touched, tasted, which has some sort of odor and some color, so which is visible. So that is Pudgal. So Pudgal Jiva has Gyan and Darshan, means he is the perceiver and the knower. And therefore, because the Jiva is perceiver and knower, has Gyan and Darshan, the Jiva can also feel. The soul can feel. So that is the special attribute of soul. None other substance have this capability to sense and feel, whether it's a Pudgal Dravya, Dharm Dravya, Adharm Dravya, Akash Dravya, or Kal Dravya. They do not know how to know. They know how to act. They have their own transformations happening constantly. They have their existence. They have their own attributes, but they just cannot know, because knowing is the special attribute of the soul. Pudgal has four attributes which are special to it: is sparsh, is touch, ras is taste, gandh is its odor, the smell that it produces, and varn is the color, so that we can see it. So that is, those are the special attributes of Pudgal. What is the special attribute of Dharma Dravya, or medium of motion? That it helps. Its special attribute is called Gati Hetutva. It aids in the movement. We go from one point to another in this space thanks to Dharma Dravya, or the medium of motion. Opposite to it is Adharma Dravya, just like we have a car, and the car has compulsorily two pedals. Each and every car must have these two sort of pedals, where you can accelerate so that the car can move, and then if it is moving, then you better have brakes on that car, because if a car only has accelerator and it does not have brakes, then again it can create disaster. Correct? So these dharma and adharma dravya, they act as the accelerator and brake in this universe. So dharma dravya is sort of accelerator which lets us move. Adharma dravya is sort of a brake which lets us rest. So we are not forever moving. We're not always resting. Fine. So the special attribute of adharma dravya is sthiti hetutva. What does space do? Space gives us the place to live, to dwell. So it gives us a lot of avgahana. So it's avgahana hetutva. It lets us dwell. Therefore, space, the attribute of space is that it's very accommodating. It does not differentiate based on the race we are, based on the form of life that we have taken, whether we are humans or plants or animals, or whether we are matters, lifeless objects, whatever we are. The space is going to embrace our existence, and it will give us space to be, to dwell. So space's special attribute is Afghanetutva. Afghan means the place that it gives for dwelling. And the special attribute for time, the Kal, is that it lets us transform. So all the change that is happening in us, we must we must acknowledge the efforts put by Kal Dravya, because it's constantly running. Just imagine a time when time stops. What will happen if there is no time? Jana, what do you think? What if the time goes off? What will happen?
I think that if time goes on, like goes off, then everything would stop in a sense, like everything would stop.
That's what we do. That's what we do. When we have tests in our schools, they set a time limit. So after 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 1 hour of the test, then you have to stop writing. You have to stop attempting. That paper ends. When the time ends, the reality, the whatever the substance is in question, it ceases to move, it ceases to be, right? So the
Mhm.
not write paper any longer now because the time is up. If there is a race and if they've given it's a time lapse race and the time is up, it's futile to run after they have ring the bell, right? So the time, if it stops, nothing moves, everything freezes. Time never stops, and that's how it helps us all. So the special attribute of time is parinaman hetutva. It constantly, it just moves on, it just keeps on running. So these are the special attributes of these six substances. Fine. So we have learned about these six substances in great detail. Great detail. We know that this whole cosmos, this whole universe is made up of these six substances. These six substances have their own constitution, which are governed by the attributes that they all share, the attributes that apply to each and every substance, regardless of their type, regardless of their speciality. So these are the attributes which govern the existence, and therefore we all dwell so easily, so calmly. We all are actually helping each other in our survival. So that's we must thank the common attributes for that. So that is the one part of the six substances, which tells us how these six substances function. At the same time, if they all are going to do the same things, there will be a lot of redundancy. Then why do we need six types? Only one type will do. But no, they just do not perform, they just do not follow the same constitution. They have their own professions as well. They have their own speciality as well. And those specialties are called special attributes. These are the Vishesh Gunas. In Sanskrit, we call them, and in Hindi, in English, we call it them special attributes, which attributes are unique to a particular substance. So I am Jiva, no other substance will know except me. I and you can know, we can talk, we can make our beliefs, understand things, we can feel the emotions, we can feel joy, we can feel suffering. That's speciality that only a jiva, only a person full of life can do that. But if you want to touch me, you can touch this body, but you cannot touch me. If you want to see me, you can see the mirrors, you can see everything, and everywhere what you'll see is this body. But who knows, who rests inside, who knows everything, you will never be able to see that person, because to see the attribute, you need color, and the color is the attribute of Pudgal Dravya. So that is unique to that substance. So each substance has have their own uniqueness. We define their uniqueness by special attributes, Vishesh Gunas, and they all together follow certain code of conduct, which we call their constitution, which is the common attribute. And that's how we define the whole cosmos. Understood, everybody? Any question? Any question? Anything that you want? You're thinking, you know how this whole world looks, the world full of six substances. Do you have any idea? Like we saw how this whole world looked like when we talked about the six substances. We also talk about how this world looks. See, we will see it one more time. Just a moment. See, you must have seen this picture, right? You all have seen it. We have already seen it also. What does this figure denote? Yes, Adi, can you tell us?
It's a thin rock.
Yeah, teen log, the three worlds. Good. Soham. Can you tell me where are the three worlds in this?
So the Sid Shila is at the top. The Manushya,
Excellent. Yeah, excellent.
below that is the Devgati.
Yeah.
Then,
Urdhvalok, call it the upper world. Urdhvalok, right?
uh, and then below that is Manushya Gati
Yes. In the center. In the center,
in the
right?
center.
Yeah.
And then Narak Gati is at the bottom.
Okay, and where is Tirinshkati?
I think it's in the middle, above.
Fine. So Tirenchas are everywhere when we consider Negodias as Tirench. So Negodia jeeves are everywhere. They're spread all over this cosmos, right?
Right.
But predominantly in Madhyalok, the Tirenchas, the animals and the humans, the Tirenchas and the Manushas dwell. In the upper world, Urdhlok, the Devas dwell. On the topmost part of it, there is a small tiny Siddhishila where the Siddhas dwell. And in the lower world, the Adholok, the Narkis, there are 7 Narak bhumis which are there where all the Narkis dwell. So this whole thing is the Jain cosmos, the Jain globe, if we want to say it. And it's actually not a 2D figure, it's actually a 3D figure. It has its own dimensions because we all live in 3D, right? So it has its own dimensions. So from the top, anybody knows the dimension of the 3 world? If you can help me. Yeah, because we tried exercising about the area of this 3 world. We have already done it, right? Let's quickly. Okay, Adi is raising his hand. Janav, you can also recall. Soham knows it. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
344 Raju.
Almost there. 344. Yes, Adi, what do you have to say?
Was it 343 cubic Raju?
43 cubic Raju, right? The unit is Raju, right? Yeah. So what are the dimensions? Soham, please help us with the dimensions. Like what is the total height? If we take the height, what is the total height?
I forgot the height.
Okay. Gia, can you help us with the height?
Is it 14 Raju?
Sorry?
Is it 14 Raju?
Yeah, 14 Raju, right? So it's 14. Okay. Can we see the depth? Yes, Adi, help us with the depth.
Is it 7?
Yeah, it's 7 Raju. Across, like, or everywhere, it's 7 Raju, right? From the front to back, it's 7 Raju. Okay, all over, right? And when we see the width, so width is divided, right? From the bottom, it is what? On the bottom, it is Soham. At the bottom, yes, it's easy. It's again 7 at the bottom. In the middle, it's only 1. Yes, okay. Adi remembers it well. Okay, Adi. Yeah, from the Brahmasvarga, how much is it?
That's 5 Raju.
Very good.
Top
And from
is 2.
it's again 1, right? Yeah. So 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 7 is equal to 14, right? And we have the formula of calculating the area of any 3D object. We just take the height, the depth, and the width, and we multiply them. So total height is 14, and total depth is 7, and what we need is the width. So width, we can take the average because it's different. So 7 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1. 7 plus 1, 8 plus 5, 13 plus 1, 14. 14, how many times? 4 times. So average would be 14 divided by 4. Right? So you do some mathematics, you make it this, you make it this. So it comes down to 7 into 7 into 7. 7 cube. 7 cube, if you'll find out, it's 343. That is the area of this cosmos. Okay, how do we define this cosmos? So definition is very simple. We have already learned about it. This world or the cosmos, or as we call it, Lok, right? Lok is nothing but the union of the 6 substances. It's the collection where all the 6 substances meet. That particular part of the world, that particular space is called as Lok. Lok is what? The space where all these 6 substances live. That's it. Just like, have you ever been to a fair? Right? How do you define a fair? How would you define it? Janav, yes. If we have to define it, how we'll make the definition of a fair?
Is it like it's the same or like I'm not sure.
You just try to explain. No, how if I do not know what a fair is, how will you explain it to me?
I don't know.
Have you been to a fair?
Oh, them. Oh, yeah. So it has lots of rides and like
Oh yeah,
games.
lots of rides. That's it. Lots of rides.
games and all sorts of stuff.
Rides, games, stuff. What else?
Food.
Food. Okay, food. Fine. What else?
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay. Okay. What else? What else? Okay. If there are hundreds of rides lying idle with no human, would you call that place that there is a fair going on? Would you call it a place? No,
No,
that
not
can be the
really.
factory of all the rides which they are about to sell. But no, that's not fair. Fair also needs people who have come down, paying tickets, purchase, eating food, enjoying with their families. So not just the rides, not just the food, not just all the different candies and different types of balloons, all that music, but also the people, also the vendors, the sellers, all the material. So where each and every one of these meet, that particular place is called fair. And if any one of these things are missing, then we'll not be sure that we'll be calling that particular space fair. Similarly, where all these 6 substances meet, that space, wherever it is, that space, that part of the space will be called lok. And where all the 6 substances do not meet, where there is only space, that is called alok. So lok is the collection of 6 substances. Alok is where there are no other substances except space. Where the space is lonely, it's called alok. Where space gets the company of other 5 substances, that place is called lok. Fine? Fine. And we have done in great detail discussion on this, that how even if we miss one substance out of these 6 substances, nothing will work, right? We tried establishing a business. We tried, going from temple to house or from the home to your temple. Even if one substance is missing, nothing will work. We'll be jammed. If the car goes on a holiday, we are doomed. If there is no space, no point. If there is no medium of motion, we will not move. If there is no medium of rest, we'll reach temple but will not stay. So the purpose goes off. If there is no temple, no Pudgal, then there is no point. And when there is no Jeev, then there is no problem, whether other exist or they do not. So all these 6 substances are must for the setting of this world. And where any of these, any one of these substances goes out, goes missing, then that part is again called alok. But funny thing is, the 5 substances always stay in this form as told by Tirthankar Bhagwan. Outside this space, there is only space. There is no other dravya, no dharma dravya, no other dravya, no jeev dravya, no pudgal dravya. Nobody is outside this world. Okay? So there was this one simple sutra. If you can see it, it's written over here. Parasparop graho jivanam. Can you read it? How many of you know how to read in Hindi? Oh, everybody. Great, 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 great. So it's Parasparop graho jivanam. What does it mean? What does it mean? Anybody will try to attempt it now? Yeah. Anybody? I'll give you the word meaning. You try to explain it then. Okay. Paraspar is mutual. Okay. Mutual. Upagraho. It means sort of to help, to support, to coordinate. Jivanam. Jeev, etc. Jivanam means Jeev and others. Okay. Adi is trying to.
Does
Yes,
it mean
Adi,
that the
tell.
6 substances help Jeev and Pudgal and
Help even Pudgal. Why they all are at the service of Jiva. Jiva is so special, huh? Why are they all helping the Jivas?
because they're alive?
But why do they care about Jiva? Yeah, you're right. You're right. To some extent, they all help Jiva or each other. So all these six substances, right from the beginning, the first substance is Jiva. So starting from Jiva, the next is Pudgal, Dharm, Adharm, Akash, Kal. Jeev and other dravyas, they all help each other. They all live together. They all dwell together and make this world a beautiful place. Make this world a beautiful place. I'll repeat it. Do you find this world a beautiful place? Or is it an ugly one? While I'm asking this question at the time when the world is sort of on a war, right? So this world is an ugly place or it's a beautiful place? Soham, let's hear it from you.
I think it's an ugly place, but we have the illusion of thinking that it's a good place.
Okay, okay. No, but why there are so many people who are doing so many bad things, right? They're doing sins, they're committing crimes, hurting each other, hoarding on the resources that should be distributed amongst us all, but some are centralizing it, keeping it to themselves, depriving others of luxuries of life, basic necessities. Do you not think this greed, this violence, the lies, it all has sort of made this world a very bitter place to be in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you still find it beautiful.
No, I don't think so. I think just people have the illusion that it's a good place, but
Oh,
it's not.
it's a illusion speaking when we're saying that world is beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not. It's not. Okay. Okay, Jana, what's your opinion on this? Jana, there?
My
Yeah.
opinion is that yet people do bad stuff. It's because of what they did in their last birth, so like the karma, or what they like did in the past births, and we
No,
try
but
to make
so is it a beautiful place or not?
no,
Yes or no?
no,
Why?
because the things that people do have made everyone like very bad, sad, and like hurt and all sorts of things.
Okay, let's quickly chalk out that chalk down actually. Let's write it down actually. What in your opinion is wrong with this world right now? Can we do that quickly? Let's do it. Okay, one by one, we'll start right from you, Janav. Tell me things that you find which are not right with this world.
People
People are not right with this world. Like people, okay.
and their mindsets.
So like we should get rid of people along with their brains. Like total, I mean, one nuclear bomb will do in each country.
No,
To
I
make
mean
this
like
world a
the
happy place.
people's mindsets.
Okay, people's mindset. Okay, what else is not good in this world? That must be changed. Soham, yeah, everybody has to contribute at least one factor that you think is not right with this world and that we must change it. Yes, Soham, you have anything that you want this world to change?
I think the world should be a peaceful place for everyone.
Yeah, the world should be a peaceful place for everyone. What do you want to change in this? Just like Janav said that he'll change the mindset of the people. What will you change if you're given the power to change?
Everyone gets
Yeah,
equal
so you
resources.
equality, right? That you would want to change, right? Equal distribution is what you're advocating for. Yes, Gia, what's your point?
I would say like how happiness is always temporary and it's never permanent.
So like you'll advocate for permanent happiness or like how to make it happen that it sustains forever?
that's not really possible unless you do it for yourself.
So then what is one thing that you would want this world to change for better?
Like stopping wars.
Stopping wars, okay, fine. More of kindness, I think you would want in this world, right? Yeah. Yes, Adi, what would you want?
Um, uh, to kind of erase human, like, that's it. Like what they've done wrong to stop it. Like,
Be good. No, but
eh,
see, this is already included in the above 3 points. Like people's mindsets, their behavior that they must change. Inequality is the improper distribution of the resources that we have, and the over-violent behavior of the humans, greed, that has already been taken care of. What other than this? Like, what problem do you have with sun? Are you happy with the way the sun is functioning? Like it just again came from the east this morning again. Like it is every morning it is rising and we have to wake up and we cannot go to bed until it's night. Does it not disturb you? Any problems from the moon that you have? The jungles that we have? The
No,
oceans? Do they disturb you? The oceans? Do they disturb you? The mountains? They are so greedy. They're just standing tall. Do you have no problem with those, like the formation of the clouds, sometimes rainbows as well? No problem with like flowers bloom and then there is spring, then the autumn. Do you have no problem with that? The snow comes and then the winters, then summers, rains. You have no problem. You have all the problems that you have is with people. What is this? I'm talking about the world. What is one thing that you would want to change? You're not complaining anything that okay, the sun is not working properly. Nobody is saying the season, oh yeah, global warming. How we forgot about it. But again, you will come back to people for global warming, right? You'll not complain it to the monkeys, to birds, to tigers, right? Nobody else is responsible. So even if we sit down with very calm mind and we decide to change this world, all we get is that there is nothing to be changed. There is nothing to be changed in this world. Everything is to be changed in the way we conduct, we roam about in this world, right? Because if we see all of these things, none of these things is natural. None of these things is, it's all man-made or the soul-made, we can say it. Because, okay, the mindset, it cannot just be in humans, it can be in animals as well, right? Equality, inequality, even the animals which are strong, they will dominate over the weak animals, right? The wars, they also hunt down their prey. Everybody does that. When somebody has power, they exercise it. And very few choose to, embrace it with, grace. Correct? So again, the Jainism again was thinking about it. What Jain Tirthankaras was thinking is that when they discussed about this world, they directly went talking about what? They directly went to talk about that this world constitutes these 6 substances. And then they described all the functions, all the rules that these 6 substances follow, what they do, right? And then they again came back to this simple question. In this world, what do we need to change? What is wrong with this world? Whether this world is beautiful or not. Okay, when was the last time you went to a hill station or some beautiful mountain or you saw a waterfall? Okay, Janav, did you see any waterfall recently or went to some good place?
4 years ago, long time
4 years
ago.
ago. Oh my God, why? Oh, okay. The COVID made us all stay
Yeah,
home, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to ask that whenever you went to a place like a dense jungle or to watch a river or a mountain or snowfall, did you ever feel that what is your mindset when you see these things? You're amazed, or they ridicule you kind of, or you feel like the world is so ugly. When we go and see the nature, is it not always relieving, very relaxing, soothing? It sort of works as a therapy, right? Whenever we go out, see all the wonders, the beauty of this world. So clearly, even if we go out and until unless we make any human connection, the world remains beautiful. Until unless we just scroll down to see what has happened in this world, read our news, the world remains beautiful. There is no ugliness anywhere to be found except in the company of humans, or on a blanket, if we say, except in the company of the knower, of the soul. And that's what Jain Acharyas taught us. And that brings us to our next topic. We have learned about this Dravya Pariyaya. We have learned about how these all these Dravyas and all this world functions. We have learned everything about it. But now what we are now moving forward to is a very important topic, that why did we learn about these 6 substances? Why are we learning about these 3 worlds and what this world is constituted of? So after knowing about the special attributes, the common attributes, the function of Dravya, the Dravya is always going to stay, it will always transform, the Paryaya, new Paryaya will come, the old Paryaya will go, and we do not have to be worried about the change, because everything is bound to change. And then again, we are to come back to this basic fundamental question, that why are we even learning? Because we are looking for happiness, we're looking for contentment. We want to make our lives fruitful, right? That's the whole intent. And by knowing about these 6 substances, how does it help? Jain Acharyas tell us. So today we are moving to the very important chapter, which we have to actually complete our journey in this semester, in this what we have planned for us to discuss in the first semester of this Mangal Vidyapeeth, is that we'll be taking our journey right from the scratch, from 5 Parmeshtis till the 8 karmas. But the bridge between this whole topic, from 5 Parmeshtis we went to soul told us that, okay, wait, I'll let you know about myself later. First know about all the kind of existence that exists. We learned about 6 substances. We learned about how this world functions. We learned about the common attributes, special attributes. Now we are again shifting our perspective that, okay, now I am not happy in this world. And when I sit down to see what this world has, it only has 6 substances, which pretty down look happy. They all are very good in their own company. Parasparo Praho Jivanam. They all are dwelling well in tandem. And if somebody asks me, what do I want to change in this world? I have nothing to actually offer. All I can offer is change attitude, change the way you conduct yourself. That's what we offer, right? That's what you all just did. So now Jain Acharyas are again refabricating this world structure for us. And now he is making us to see this world in a very different way. We are going to learn about the 7 tattvas now. What we're going to learn about? We're going to learn about the 7 tattvas. These 6 substances, the 6 dravyas, will now be redistributed into 7. Because see, the first rule is this world has nothing. This world has nothing outside this. All that this world contains is these 6 substances. There is no 7th substance. There will never be 5 substances. This world has only 6 substances, right? We all agree on this. There cannot be anything more than 6 substances, and none of these substances will die. Fine. But we need that. How do I mine happiness? I want to mine happiness in this world. And clearly, when I sit down and understand about the existence, the dharma, adharma, akash, and kal dravyas, they are doing all fine. I have no complaints to make to the sun, to the moon, to the cycle of time, to the cycle of seasons, to the oceans, to the mountains. I have no problem with them. I have problem with my unhappiness. And please tell us that how can I help myself to make myself come out of this unhappiness, to this sadness. So Jain Acharyas now are helping us in making our perspective. in these 7 tattvas. Fine. So you know the names of six dravyas, 6 substances, right? So now we are going to divide those 6 substances into 2 parts. The first part is called Jiva Tattva. The first part is called Jiva Tattva. Let me ask Soham. Soham, you
Yeah.
know, like how does it feel when you have headache? Did you ever experienced pain of headache?
Yeah, it feels like something's pounding in your head.
Yeah, you have had headache one point in time, right? You know what headache is, right? Who do you think who loves you the most in your family? Like your parents, they love you, right? Sorry, I'm asking so weird questions. Yeah, yeah. So like you're close to your mom or dad? Like whom are you close to?
Both.
Both, like more. I mean, I know it gets very political when we answer these questions. But though, like whom do you think loves you the most?
Both.
Okay, fine. You want to remain politically correct? Fine. So yeah, let's say you're having extreme headache, right? Who from your one of your parents, like who from your mother and father, who will come first and say, okay, I'll borrow your headache. I love you. Who will do
None.
that? Anybody did that to you? Ever?
Uh, my mom
Siblings,
first.
best friends, cousins, anybody?
Mom.
So, okay, your mom has offered that she'll borrow your headache from you so that you all can share pain. How will you do that?
You can't.
So it's very convenient for mom to offer, right? Because anyway, you will not, right? That's so good. Fine. See, that's what acharyas are telling us. Though we can say that we all are jivas. You are jiv, I am jiv, my parents are jivas. We all are. But when I'm in suffering, I'm alone in my suffering. I cannot share my pain with anybody else. If there is a small, just a newborn baby, and that baby has, some very peculiar kind of disease, and the mother who has just given birth to that baby, she literally is willing to do everything to save that baby. But they just see that baby in pain. The parents can't do anything. The children, when they're very small, they just cry, and parents just, in helplessness, that what can we do for this baby to stop crying, to take some pain from it? But none of, like, though we say that we love, though we say that we'll not let anyone touch you, not any pain come in your way, but we get so helpless when the misery comes down to our way. Nobody can save us from that, right? You all agree to this? Everybody, right? When we are in pain, we are alone in pain. We are alone in our suffering. So then Acharya said that forget about the whole literature that we told you in 6 Ravyas that jivas are infinite. No, there is only one jiva, and that is you. Because you are alone. So Jiv Tattva, now when we were saying Jiv Dravyas, we're talking about everybody. But then we question that, okay, what do I do with this whole knowledge that everybody is Jiva and so many Jivas and so many Putlas are there? What do I do with it? Acharya is saying, okay, calm down, calm down. Okay, we'll let you know that, okay, there is only one Jiva, which is of use, which you can actually count on, and that is you. So, Jeev Dravya, the Jeev substance is anybody with knowledge. Jeev Tattva is me, is any existence that has my knowledge. So, how many Jeev Dravyas are there? There are infinite Jeev Dravyas. I am Jeev, you are Jeev, Janav is Jeev, Diya is Jia is Jeev, Adi is Jeev, everybody is Jiva. Devas are jivas, Manushyas are jivas, Tiryanchas are jivas, Narkis are jivas, Siddhas are jivas. Everybody is Jeev Dravya. But how many Jeev Tattvas are there? For me, I am Jeev Tattva. For you, you are Jeev Tattva. Jeev Tattva is only one. Now, because we are talking business, we're talking that why did we learn about these 6 substances? Acharyas are now again redistributing those 6 substances into these 7 factors. Okay, so if I am Jiva, I am one, then rest everybody else becomes what? Not Jiva. I am myself and I'm not anything else. So everybody becomes Jiva Tattva. The substance that has my knowledge, that has my Gyan Darshan is called Jiva Tattva. The substance that does not have my knowledge is called Ajiv Tattva. Then it can be a Jiva, which is not me. It can be Pudgal, it can be Dharma, it can be Adharma, it can be Akash, it can be Kal. Any substance which does not have my Gyan and Darshan is Ajiva. All these 6 substances minus myself is called Ajiv Tattva. 6 substances, Ajiv Tattva is equal to 6 substances minus myself, and Jiv Tattva is equal to myself. Simple equation. How many in these 2 parts? How many substances have we covered? All these 6 substances. All these 6 substances. See, there are 6 substances. I am now redistributing those 6 into 2. One is me, because I am the one who makes a difference. I feel my happiness, I feel my sorrow. I am with myself in my pain and in my joy. Correct? So to me, I am the only abode, I am the only shelter, I am the only friend. See, when Mahavir Bhagwan went to moksha, did he take anybody from his family to moksha along with him? No, he did not. Even Adinath Bhagwan had so many children. He had 101 sons, 2 daughters. Such a huge family he had. When he went to liberation, he was alone. Why? Because though we all might appear to be well living together, we all are family, we're all acquaintances, we're all friends, but it's not the case. For our happiness, we'll have to work on our own. We have to work for our happiness on our own. We're alone in all our pains and all our joys. Got it? And anybody who is not me, I don't care whether it's a Pudgal Dravya or Dharma Dravya or Dravya or Akash Dravya. It's not myself, it's a Jeev. Only there is one Jeeva and everybody is a Jeev. You must have heard about, people boasting about the God. There is one God. There is one God who is responsible for everything in this world. He decides what our future will be. He decides what our past was. He decides everything. When we laugh, when we cry, when we do anything. They are not wrong in that. There is only one God. That God is called Jiv Tattva. My happiness is at my own will. My pain, I am responsible for it. I choose. There is a famous, there is a very famous quote, and I think we all must remember it. The quote is, all our sufferings are self-chosen. All our sufferings, it's what we have chosen. We have made this choice that I want to suffer. Okay, Kripaji, yes, you have a question. Neerav ji, you have a question.
Sorry if you said it already, but what was your definition of tattva
Yes,
in English?
Tattva is when, see, Dravya, when we're talking about, is the collection of all the attributes. So while we were learning about the metaphysics, the reality, in the terms of Jainism, so the reality as defined by Jain Tirthankaras is as Lok. Lok has 6 Dravyas, 6 substances, which each and every substance has infinite attributes, and each and every attribute works its own function. That's called Paryay. Now, the Tattva is now, what do I do with this knowledge? Tell me something that will benefit me. So now we are again re-looking at this world from the point of view of happiness. So Tattva is looking at the same data, but from the aim or from the objective of getting happiness. First, the objective was to make our understanding. So we define it into 2 ways. When we learn about the Dravyas, we call it Agam. you learn, it's an academic science. This is the academics of Jainism. When you learn about Tattva, we call it Adhyatma. It's a spiritual sense. So Agam is more to do with our knowledge. Here, knowledge is important. Spirituality is more to do with the happiness. The aim is happiness. So I can choose to see this world in two ways. In one of the ways is I see this world as it is. Then I see, oh, there is a knower, there is a substance that can be seen, there is a substance that exists. So this is what the Dravya definition is. But when we look at the same substance from the point of view of, from the objective of happiness, what is, of what good will learning about it would mean to me. So Tattva is whatever the Dravya is, when we see it, just vastu in language, in Sanskrit, the aapne tattvam asi, you must have heard, like soham and tattvam asi. Tattva means when we call it in Hindi, जिस वस्तु का जो भाव वही उसका तत्व. Means I went to market and I bought some oranges. Okay, and now when I bought those oranges, why did I buy those oranges? For the outer skin, for their color, or for the juice that the oranges have in them, right? So the juice becomes the tattva. That's the main objective for which I bought it. So if I went went to the market to buy bananas, I did not see that, okay, which banana is looking beautiful. I saw, okay, whether it's completely, it's eatable right now, or when do I want to use it? I directly see that when I am going to use it, will it be appropriate? Will it be in the condition in which that I can use it or not? So tattva is objective. When we have certain objective and we see the same world from that objective of happiness, we look 6 substances into 7 forms. Okay, so when we were doing that, we learned about that first 2 tattvas, they in themselves summarized all the 6 substances. We regrouped these substances into 2. Earlier we thought there are 6 substances, but then I see how many religions are there in this world? So many. There is Buddhism, there is Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, so many religions, right? But when we're talking about Jainism, then we only say that there are two types of people. There are Jains and there are non-Jains. Where are Hindus? Where are Sikhs? Where are Buddhas? Where are they? They are non-Jain. So they all have one name, that they are not Jain. And they all have their individual names as well. Here, our objective was sufficient enough that I'm only talking about Jains. So others are non-Jains. I do not have to name them. Similarly, when we were learning about all these substances, we named all of them. But now I'm talking about happiness because I know that there is nothing else to be changed in this world. Everything is beautiful. Though it appears to be ugly because of my mollified intentions, because of my greed, because of my desires, I do not find things appropriate. But it's not this way. The mountains are still beautiful. The ocean is beautiful. The whole universe is beautiful. Things are just going according to their plans. What do you think? A lion who hunts down an animal to eat, does he do the right thing, good thing, or bad thing? If a crocodile, alligator in a pond makes himself alive by eating other animals, does he do the good thing or the bad thing? Is he justified in what he does? Is lion justified in hunting down its prey? Soham?
It is justified, right? Because it's just part of the cycle of life.
But then isn't he violent in doing it? Is it good? Is it okay that he exercises violence to make himself alive, to keep himself alive?
No, but I don't think they know ethics because they're
Does
animals.
he do so a lion hunting down its prey? It's a beautiful thing or an ugly thing?
Ugly.
Why ugly? You want a lion to grow frail and then die out of hunger one day?
Oh,
That would be beautiful.
no, that would be ugly as well.
So what is ugly and what is beautiful?
Um,
So that's what Jain Acharyas will just talk about. They will say all that is good and all that is bad is here in the mindset. A lion has become lion. So he cannot just eat grass and be happy. And you are eating grass, and grass is again a one-sensed organism. That is ugly too, to eat grass, but to eat vegetables. The vegetables are also lively beings, right? They are full of life as well. So yeah, the lion is hunting down a bigger animal. We are hunting down small organisms, but we all are going after the lives. The crimes are sort of same. So therefore, in these tattva, acharyas are going to explain us how to make our perspective about this world. Before judging this world to be ugly or to be beautiful, we must know that how to perceive it. So for the perception, first they have created this stage. First, forget everything. Be blind to everything. Only carry these two definitions. There are only two things in this world. One is you, and rest is all everything else. Everything else is ajiva, and you are jiva. Okay, so all these six substances are now grouped as two. One is jiv tattva, the other is ajiv tattva. Now, other than six substances, is there anything else in this world? No, but we are learning about the seven tattvas, and all these six substances got extinguished in these two parts only. So what would we fill in the rest of the five types of tattvas? Because there is nothing which is outside six dravyas, and all these six dravyas are included in these two types, right? So in the next class, we'll try to make what other five tattvas are and how do they come to their existence. Because there is nothing other than six substances. The six substances are already included in the first and the second point. Then where do we create the 5 points? Out of nowhere, because all existence that we know comes into these six substances. So in the next class, it's a very, very, very fascinating and very, I would say, very soul of Jainism, like the seven tattvas, because in Tattva Sutra, Acharya Uma Swami, they will say, Tattvarth Shraddhanam Samyak Darshanam. The right belief comes to its existence by believing, by setting our beliefs right about these seven tattvas. So it's soul of Jain literature. So we'll be discussing about the rest of the five tattvas, which are very interesting in the next class. Okay. If you have any questions, keep them ready. We can start with the questions in the next class and then we'll conclude. Okay. Okay. We'll have quickly short reminders with it. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए चिन्हवाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है उसके लिए चिन्हवाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है 9 times from Mukar Mantra. जैन धर्म नो जय हो. Jai Shnendra. Thank you, everyone. Jai Shnendra.
just
Yeah, thank you.
Right,